I'm going to go, and roll, take two.
Yeah.
Sofa Talk, pilot episode.
Yes,
Who knows
sir.
what the fuck's going to happen episode? Here we go. I'm Richard.
Paul.
We are collectively the kind of mainstays of the Big Rock Room. We thought we'd introduce ourselves to the world. You know, we're just going to sit here, talk about the studio, what we do, what we've done, how we got here, where we're going, see what happens. We now have a sofa, and the reason we have a sofa is because we now have a control room and a live room. So the existing Big Rock Room is now a live room, or a drum room, really.
Yeah.
It's
Three of them.
Three drum kits in there. That'll all come in time. We'll hopefully do something on that and kind of figure it out. We're kind of putting it together properly.
Studio talk,
yeah. Yeah, so now we have a live room, and we're just kind of in the live room. We have a control room even. Yeah. And we're just kind of in the control room now, so starting to get it together. We've got some acoustic treatment to do, and but it's coming together nicely. It sounds different, it's a bit weird. It's cool, but weird, because we're kind of so used to the old room and how it sounded and layout. Of course, now we know it was all wrong, but at the time.
Yeah. Well, it sounds good now.
Yeah, but it's all good, This whole sofa, there's an in-joke in the sofa within my family, where I've basically built this whole studio, the whole new studio, purely so I can have a sofa in my studio, because I always wanted a studio with a sofa in it, but we could never fit one in the original Big Rock Room because of everything else in there. So I now have a sofa, and we're going to sit and talk on the sofa. There's lots of things to talk about. There's lots of things going on. It's the YouTube side especially, how and why we ended up with the videos, the timeline, how why things took so long, didn't take so long. We got a bit of a run on, we didn't have a run on. We'll get into all of that hopefully in other videos, and hopefully see where it takes us and see if we can actually keep up our momentum.
If anybody's asked.
Well, we don't know. Actually, that's a good point, because when we and Paul were talking through this, and I kind of pitched the idea, both of our issues is, does anyone care? We didn't do that first YouTube video to impress anyone other than ourselves. Go, hey, let's play. Well, it's Creeping Death, wasn't it? So it was like, we jammed on Creeping Death and went, we should record this. This sounds pretty good. And then, that was our first foray into actually recording properly in the studio. And then the video side is something I've always been kind of interested in. Obviously, with new technologies and programs and YouTube itself, it's like, well, you can do this now. There's an ability to do it and release it and what have you. And of course, it took off from there. Like, we're two guys in a garage in the countryside in England, and people in South America are commenting on our videos like, what? If nothing else, it's something my children, whatever, can look back on and go, okay, cool, that's what Dad did, and this is what we did and why we did it, and and if we keep it in that context, hopefully it helps us to not get too kind of like, why are we even bothering doing this,
Yeah, I took some convincing.
You did, and still are.
Yeah.
In all honesty, we're just here to have fun. We're still playing music. The thing is, we have, we have an album each. So I have my kind of solo project RDH, which Paul was heavily involved in. Paul has his kind of semi-solo project.
Yeah.
Electric Caesar, which is with our other friend Matt, who you've seen in YouTube videos. But behind that, there is a mountain of kind of original material. So like I said, RDH, Electric Caesar. We have another project, two projects actually, that kind of me and Paul helm, which is March of One and Imperium. Jude, who you've seen in some of the later YouTube videos, my kind of one of my oldest, dearest friends. We started in bands together when we were teenagers. and we are currently re-recording every single song we almost wrote, because we're still alive, well, and we have, families now who are, we can say, hey, this is what we did. And it's not so much the playing side of things, it's the things that were recorded on, and it sounds, when you're playing at 100 dB through Marshall stacks and stuff, with a little, alarm clock tape recorder in the middle, it doesn't sound that good a quality.
But some of it doesn't sound that bad, actually.
No, it doesn't even.
No.
I was very lucky in the fact, I don't quite know why, but my father, a very unmusical man, but kind of, interested in technology and whatever, when we were teenagers, bought, I'll maybe even put a picture, I'll put a picture.
On the wall.
It's on the wall in the main studio. And it was an Amstrad Studio 150, I think it was called. And it was like this 2-foot square cube with a record deck, 2 tape play, two tape slots, a radio, and a 4-track, which made no real sense. I've never asked my dad why he bought it, but he did. And as I then became, teenager, we'd had the family meeting, bought the bass and whatever. Yeah, I've still got the bass. In fact, it was there before, but I moved it.
And the amp you built.
And the amp. Oh, that came later though.
Oh, right.
That's a whole nother episode. The amp. I want an Ampeg. We'll make one. Yeah. Not what a teenager want to hear. What that gave me the ability to do was, as soon as I started playing guitar and, jamming and whatever, we recorded everything, and I have everything I've ever played in any guise is recorded and on the studio computer, you know what I mean? So I have everything. It's like Matt, one of Matt's old band Fish Pie from when we were kids. I have more of his recordings than he has. I've given to him now. It's quite funny. One time I was like, I'd uploaded all the analog stuff, and I'm like, Matt, I got all this, and Matt's like, I haven't got half of this. I used to just accumulate everybody's recordings. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I've got a recording of that. I've got, it's funny. I've got more recordings than most of my friends who are in the actual bands. And then another project that came out of that, really, which was when Jude kind of moved back up north and joined us again. We started obviously jamming on the YouTube stuff, and then Jude was like, I've got some riffs, I'm writing some heavy riffs again. And so I said, you know what, now we've got Ben on the drums as well and whatever. I was like, let's kind of go old school in terms of, let's get in a room and jam out a song. We use technology, we build stuff, we write, mine and Paul's projects, we'll jam them out, we'll jam the ideas out on the drums, drums and guitar, and get basic ideas together. But, we use Pro Tools and whatever, and we'll build the songs and the tracking and whatever, because there's only the two of us there. So there's all these projects of new music that, I'd love, and we want to get out there, but it's just, life and everything else. And this is maybe a way of keeping that momentum going. And then of course there's our musical backgrounds, where we came from, how we ended up here. I think we, on the website, because in a way this kind of started on the website as well. We kind of built the website, and I did a few blogs and whatever, and we at various points on the website we talk about how we first met each other and blah 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 and all this and the other.
It's stalled a bit there.
Yeah, and again, life got in the way, I got in the way. This is maybe me re-looking at it, thinking, how can we, I think I'm better at, we'll see, better at talking it through rather than sitting in front of a computer trying to write it down.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see, won't we?
This may just languish on my hard drive and never see the light of day. We just don't know what's going to happen. To keep this in context and kind of a little bit less scary in terms of putting ourselves out there, I sold it saying it's more like an autobiographical thing.
Yeah.
So it's almost like just videoing ourselves, talking about our lives and how we got here. And then of course we've got, so you've got the backgrounds and you've got our influences, the albums, we're out there, we listen, we watch a lot of YouTube stuff, we read a lot of interviews and whatever, and it's always, you'll see something online that alludes to your favourite 10 albums, and that'll provoke a conversation between the two of us about our favourite albums, and the classic of you can both have the same album within your top 10 for completely different reasons, and I love that about music. This autobiographical thing is what keeps me feeling it's something that I'm happy to have a go at, rather than thinking we're trying to do it. Obviously we are putting it out online, but at the same time, you know, that gets scary, putting ourselves out there for the world to see, for one guy and his dog to see. It's like the equivalent of playing a pub, isn't it, to the barman and his dog.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. We're starting off small, the arena's beckon. As you see, I'm the talkative one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul's just shy at the moment. When he gets to know you, he'll be all over you.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a dynamic.
Not a showman.
It's a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Paul is not the showman. I'm the showman. As is Ben, as we found out, and Jude as well, you know, and Matt obviously. But there's a lot of other qualities Paul brings to this table, and showmanship doesn't have to be one of them. You know what I mean? We got enough of that with me.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So yeah, that basically sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
You know, basically, there's not enough hours in the day. We'd love to do far more than we do. We always have, but life gets in the way. Terrible excuse, horrible excuse, but it's all of our excuses. Always trying to find that way of, you know, tricking my brain into keeping the momentum going. You know what I mean? And not get overwhelmed by everything, the fear, and we're going to see what happens. So hopefully this is the first of many. We will see.
Might be just in.
Could be me. We'll get to the edit and Paul will go great, and there'll just be a blacked out face, like a disguised voice, not real voice, actor's voice. But who knows? We'll see what happens. You know. So in time, this will be the week after, all being well. Slayer has come out with our wonderful American friend Avery, an extremely talented young man with a beautiful family, absolutely beautiful family. I think that will probably be the next actual video like this, is us talking about that video, because it's the most current one, and
Don't want to know why we know him, etc.
Yeah, how we met him, and why it took me a year to do it. And it's also, you know, we decided to put the Slayer video up first because that was the last video we also filmed in the original studio. You know, if you've got this far, whatever this ends up as, if you've got this far, thank you for sticking with us this far, and hopefully we'll see you again, and we'll see where this takes us. Try and have some fun with it, and, you know, enjoy the ride, whatever that ride may be. So, till the next time, enjoy.
All the best.
Peace. Thank you. Bye.